8 months ago, we lost our entire car collection and dream garage to a terrible fire. So we bought this brand new building as its replacement. We've given ourselves 30 days to turn this blank canvas into one of the craziest automotive garages you've ever seen. It's week 3, we're finishing the construction, and this is where all the madness is going to start making sense. Welcome to day 15 of our 30-day build of our brand new Drift Games Clubhouse. In the last 2 episodes, if you haven't watched them, go back and watch them. We've been doing a lot. We got the office pretty much there, the warehouse is coming together, but we have a very practical thing to do today because this is the first actual day all of the team are working together in the new place, and that means everything has been moved from Mondello, which meant we had to move our merch shop, and we're moving it into this room. Look, employees only. So we have to get this finished today because you guys have been buying so much merch from us. Thank you so much, keeping the dream alive, that we needed some cool places and stuff and things to make that work even smoother than it did in the last place. So come and see this. Hello friends, the boys have been working. So we have got shelving, we have got more shelving, boxes, things, but we don't have anything here because this is where we can bring in our beautiful sponsor of today's video, FlexiSpot, because they've sent us everything we need to make the ultimate packing station in our new merch room. We're excited to open these boxes. So our FlexiSpot setup is now complete and it looks awesome in black as well. And to be honest, it's a very practical reason we're doing this because we get a lot of merch orders from you beautiful people at home and they all have to be packed here and they all pass through these 2 desks. So if someone's packing a desk and it's really low, like our other desk used to be, your back all day is doing this, which is pretty hard on your back if you're doing it for like 6, 7, 8 hours. Now, with the higher desk, throw it up, you can adjust it for your height, whether you're 6'9" or 5'8", and you can just move around all day, straight back, and you don't feel any pain. And this very nice mat, also from FlexiSpot, on the bottom means that your feet are a little bit spongier on the ground, meaning you don't get like a harsh floor or whatever all day, and your ankles and your legs are actually pretty good too. And to be honest, it makes a big difference, especially if you guys know, like you're working all day, it actually makes a big difference when you're getting home if your back's sore or your legs are sore. So it's going to stop that. However, what's even more clever is, if you want to just sit down and do some emails because you finished up your orders and you want to go through all your customer service, you just press this button here, take your chair back, and then you can just sit here. Beautifully come back inside and work away on your laptop doing your emails. And remember, if you want to go back to packing again, you can just raise it back up again. So not only is your back and everything going to be good when you're packing up here, but when you're on your laptop, the chair is also important as well. But this chair is awesome. This is the C7 from FlexiSpot. It's got infinite adjustability for height and rake and everything you want to do. Got everything can just be adjusted. You can go back to 120 degrees even if you wanted to take a nap, which none of the lads will ever be doing. But most of the time it actually has great back support. It's really, really high quality and it's not you're going to fall over and make a fool of yourself in the middle of the office halfway through the day like Josh. It's a really, really nice bit of kit. So if you guys want to grab yourself the C7 chair, which is, I will say, awesome, or the E7 Pro, which is the adjustable desk, get on to flexispot.com. You can put in our code, which you put on the screen right now, to get yourself a massive discount. Don't say we didn't help you out, and don't say we didn't make you feel more comfortable at the workspace for the rest of the year. So we're here at Cool Nights and it is an absolute pleasure to introduce a guest on our channel, Mike Brewer, who is a massive influence on me back in the day. I'm sure a lot of you guys watching as well. Old school wheeler dealers was where we all learned how to buy and flip cars.
Well, that's what you're doing. You're wheeler dealer in cars, but just making them a little bit more.
We're kind of buying them, doing them up, making them depreciate pretty fast by making them very unique. But again, by flipping cars, you said one of the first shows ever to do it, and you inspired a whole generation of, we said, that, you know, Matt Armstrong or any of this, if it wasn't for you guys showing us how to do it back in the day.
Yes, I mean, it's nice that I've encouraged so many people to have a go themselves. And you know, when I look at all these YouTubers and influencers and people like yourself today, I can think that they can trace their history back to that one little show, Wheeler Dealers, that's been 21 years now.
And still going.
Yeah, it's still going. The first flipping car show on the planet.
Yeah.
And what you do though with your cars is a little bit different than what I do with mine. I buy old crap, fix it up and try to make it still look like old crap and sell it.
We're trying to do something a little bit more unique.
You are.
But it's for us, it's like the modified car scene has gone to such extremes over the last while. You know, like our RX-7 now doesn't really look like an RX-7 anymore. It looks more like a Le Mans Porsche from the 80s. But this is kind of the old school stuff and the new school stuff. We like both. And then we have Adam's pickup truck, which might be right down your street. 1970s, that's in Sunny pickup with a Housekeeping Skyline 71 front end on it.
They just look so much fun. They really do.
So we kind of try and do a bit of that with a bit of fun. And again, we see all these old quirky cars and we see that we can still make something new out of them, even though this is quite a new car. But yeah, this is like pro level drifting. I was talking off camera about everyone runs 1,000 horsepower now, 285 semi-slicks on the back.
And you'll rip through a set of tyres, do 6 miles to the gallon, and it costs you a fortune.
€400 a lap.
€400 a lap. But look at the face. The face says it all, doesn't it? You're smiling.
I said, at the end of that, you could do that minute, and you will think about that minute for 3 weeks because it was so much fun. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the
it's an honour to be here.
Absolute legend, and we've been doing some Q&As and stuff with the people here this weekend, and it's an honour to share a stage with one of my boyhood heroes. Anyway, Mike, an absolute pleasure.
It's been lovely to see you.
A pleasure.
Cheers.
All right, we're going to show you some of the amazing progress that's been made on this side of the building, and it's looking awesome. But to be honest, this is actually one of the most exciting things we're doing with the new building. And before I show you what that very exciting thing is, I've got to give you a little bit of backstory. So a couple of episodes ago, you'll know that I made a video saying I was stopping my commentary in Drift Masters because in 2025, I'm going to try to become a professional drifter. It's been a dream of mine since I started 15 years ago in drifting. I've never given it my full go, but I realize how difficult the game is and how much effort I've got to put in, and there's a couple of things I need to do. You'll have watched that we've got the Solstice, which is essentially a version that's much simpler of this for practice behind the wheel in the off season. But last year, we had a Drift Masters team, and our driver Connor Falvey managed to get Rookie of the Year at 17 years of age. He started the season at 16 years of age. It got me thinking, how did Connor Falvey do what he did? I mean, James Dean won his first pro event before Connor Falvey was born. So how did he catch up so fast with the rest of the talent in Europe? And that came down to one single secret weapon, and that was the simulator. So our friends, the Sim Consultants, have come on board as a partner with Drift Games because they heard my cry of I need help to get better at drifting. And they said, we've got just the thing for you. And these guys aren't just an online retail store, they are the business. They go all the way from planning out your simulator to building it to then after you bought its support to make sure it is exactly what you did. And what I realized with this car is that you can have all the gear, but if you don't have the right setup, you've got no idea. Now I need somebody, because I'm not a super technical guy when it comes to simulators, they kind of confuse me. So they're going to help me through the journey. You guys are going to see it. Now, this car is going to be replicated as a simulator, meaning that I can do as many laps as I want without spending any more, because I don't have fuel, I don't have the tires, and I can also go to all the tracks we're going to use next year before we get there. Now, they've brought it in. I think this is it here. And yeah, I mean, it's going to need some work. Ronan, Rob, hello boys.
Hello.
So this is Ronan and Rob from the Sim Consultants. Welcome to Drift Games. We've partnered up because I need a little bit of help to get better at drifting, and I know I need it, and you guys are the guys to go to, the specialists, right? The consultants. I'm going to go straight off the bat and say, we haven't started well. This steering wheel is definitely not going to be great for drifting, and the rig is quite nice, but with no handbrake.
Well, I think, Dave, you know well that this is not your one, so we've got much more of a custom item just for you guys.
I was a little joke there, because they asked me a lot of very interesting questions over the last 2 weeks about the rig that they're going to build to replicate this car, and I believe it's here.
It is indeed.
And I haven't seen it, and I know some of the boys passed it earlier on, and there was a lot of wait till you see this. So I'm not wasting any more time. I want to see this thing.
Let's go.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. It's got the livery and everything. You guys did this in like a week.
Lots of help from Jay, of course, on Precision Tints on the graphics. But,
shout out to Jay.
Everything else is all custom built, ready for you guys. And we've done what we can based on the images of the Supra.
Because they asked me for loads of interior images of the Supra. I was like, why would they need that? But now I see. So we've got the same livery. We got the DGSJ, the Superjet livery on there. With the nice little military bit. Oh, look at this. Even has my name up here. And the handbrake is gold.
IRP as well, exact same as in the car.
That's the exact handbrake.
Yeah.
Do you put any handbrake on these?
Well, it's custom job, so it's a Housekeeping handbrake that we've modified so that it's matches what you have. We've tried to get the positioning of everything as close as we can.
From what we could get in the videos.
Yeah, from what we can get in the videos. So what we really need to do now is, try and fine tune this and really get it so that it feels like the car. So the whole point of this, as far as we understand, is that you're going to use this as a training tool, so it has to feel exactly like the real thing. No point in being miles off and things being in the wrong position.
Because firstly, I'm noticing it's left-hand drive, which I've never had a simulator. We've had a few in the past, but I'll be honest, they were kind of toys that didn't really, to me, and I know some of you guys might have tried out simulators if you're drifters or racer drivers, and they don't feel identical. And then I was looking at Connor Falvey using his looked exactly in car the same way it was. So I guess that's where you guys come in, is that it's not just about buying the gear, it's about knowing how to use it, right?
Absolutely. It's, buying the stuff, buying the right gear is obviously important, but it's all in the setup. And same with a race car or a drift car. Out of the box, it's only going to be 70-80% there. It's all about
we've made so many adjustments to the Supra in the 4 or 5 events we've done. That's why you buy all these adjustable arms and these different suspension setups, and it's amazing how the car feels different. So this is mad, because I was just looking at it here going, it's exactly the way my gearbox and handbrake are. This is where I have the Link ECU display, which is almost identically just on the column there. And then you got the holes. I didn't even notice the screen. There's computers up high. What's going on here?
Yeah, it's just so it keeps the cables tidy, so you don't have it on the ground. It's not sucking up dust. It looks cool as well.
It's also very cool looking. I don't know what's going on in there.
That's really department.
Cool.
I don't know what's going on there either.
And then just for an extra bit of immersion, then we've given you a VR headset as well, just to give you the proper movement of the head and everything inside. But
yeah, because sometimes I find there's a pro and con. I've used them both before, and I'm a casual sim user. This is much more, you get less fatigue because you don't have as much. The VR can be quite tiring, but then the VR gives you that sensation of speed. So it's kind of, you can use a little bit of both. Oh man, this looks unbelievable. Now, our plan is to put this up in the office, so there must be a reason that it's down here set up first, right?
Yeah, so really what we need to try and do now is go and take some measurements from the Supra and get this as close as humanly possible to that car.
Attention to detail is everything, right? You guys are all about that.
Yeah.
And it just looks, there's so many buttons, I want to know what they all do. But anyway, Josh, let's get these guys measured all up, and then we get it upstairs, and then we can turn it on. We can see what it does, because should be doing work, but this is actually technically I'm a professional driver now. So this is my work. Josh, I'm done for the day, I'm doing some work. This is unbelievable.
It was 580, bottom of wheel 640.
Kind of feel where it is.
need to come down.
Well, it
was that
depends.
to the end of the seat or was that?
Walking through, breathing, heavy breathing.
Gary played. It's under pressure. If you don't want to know what's going on in there. Alright, so the boys have been setting it up for the last couple of hours because it's a bit of kit. It takes a little bit of time. I'm just going to show you before we get into the technical stuff. This is like beyond. This switch panel has the exact same button layout on the PMU on the Supra, which I'm sure was a very painstakingly horrible job, Rob.
Took a little bit of time.
So on the Supra, this is anti-lag, start. This is actually underglow. This is my front lights. This is how I start the car. So everything is the same in the game. It's like even you get into the habit of starting the car the way you start the car. If you stall it, you've got that down. So that's just mind blowing to me.
It goes one step further, Dave. You know the high boost and low boost, but it goes from 1,000 horsepower to 700 horsepower.
It's on there.
You got that on there.
I hate that button because you never know. You're like, do I want that? Oh. And then you sit in the line and go, nah, that's way too much. Anyway, so a couple of differences as you guys explained. There's like a couple of things we need to work on.
Yep.
One is this area.
So yeah, so in the Supra, the distance between here and here is much closer. So we know we've got to move this for starters. We've got to move the handbrake onto the rail here. We've got to move the whole mechanism down, and then we've got to create another mounting bracket for this for the shifter. So we need to come into about 120. So this needs to be right here.
But from a seating position, this is you've taken the measurements from the Supra.
Yeah.
And I'm now going to sit in it and see if it feels like the Supra, which is I'm excited because let's see, it's awkward, which is the Supra is awkward. that is uncanny. It feels that's exactly the way it is. My knee, so when you're taller in drift cars, which is everyone says they want to be tall all their life until they go drifting, and then realize every Japanese car and every car is tiny. But I have basically this space, my hand space, between fully compressing the clutch and coming off it, and I can't go any lower on the seat because the floor can't go any higher because I hit the cage, so that's just the way it is. So it's really weird how I'm not setting this up to be the most comfortable thing in the world. I'm setting it up to replicate the car, but it feels, even the way I can see the screen through the steering wheel is exactly like the Link ECU setup on the car, and this is just wild.
So one of the things though, Dave, that we did notice straight away was the pedals, because your pedals in the car are top mounted, whereas on the sim here they're base mounted. The pivot point is completely different, obviously, so they're going to feel different. You haven't got as much travel on the pedals, so we're going to change the angle of these pedals as well, so that you don't have to roll your foot over as much to try and compensate for the way that they are mounted. So that's the next thing to do there. That should help with the way the pedals feel.
And just to let you know about replicating the pedals in the Supra, we explained to the guys earlier that because the Supra was originally automatic, the clutch pedal is from a E92 BMW, the brake pedal is from a Supra, and then the accelerator is from a K11 Micra because it was fitted perfectly on the pivot point. So very hard to replicate that. This is a problem now. I have no excuses now. Everyone's going to be like, wait, he has the Sim, he has the Solstice, he must be great. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, you just got to put in the hours now.
That's the easy bit. Building it for me was the hard bit. That's why you guys come in, and all this is very I mean, for me, I'm old school. I like the mechanical stuff. Sometimes the sim can feel a little bit like too complicated, but you guys are making it so simplified with everything that it's going to be brilliant. I can't wait. So while we're getting the sim all set it up, is that a word? I don't even know. It's been a long week. Oh, here we are. Here's Johnny DIY.
Maybe paintbrush.
I'm going to give it to Adam, right? I hit him with an idea of wouldn't it be cool if in the meeting room we had one wall that was like super slick office style.
Have you even showed this?
No. Which is like, I mean, he's the man with the paneling this week. So we have like a media center on this side. So very conventional, nice, looks like the other side. But then I was like, we've got this big wall. And wouldn't it be cool if we made the inside look like the outside? So if you can't really see there because it's dark, but there's like this color on the outside, and then we're going to make this look like a container. So he did some wood all the way around. Yeah. And then we're going to put a big Drift Games on here that makes it look like we're the shipping company, which we're not.
2 containers downstairs. There's the fake container wall upstairs.
They haven't seen that yet.
There's stuff everywhere.
So there's a theme. There's a theme that's running. So one of the things we didn't want, Adam, was that the office side of the building had no relation to the warehouse side, because it doesn't really usually. Now we've got this. We're going to put some like stickers on there. We'll get Jay from Precision Tinted Graphics to do us up some like, you know, max weight payload stuff. So when you come in here, it's going to look like there's a container wall, and that the place kind of goes further, like there's another side to this container, but there isn't. So it looks super cool. I'm very chuffed on this. Adam, that, like, for a bit of a whim.
For about 24 hours ago, I had no idea what I was doing. I literally went home last night and violently Googled stuff. I'm like, oh my god.
Violently Googled. And, you know, a lot of what we're doing here, we're not interior designers. You never know if it's going to look good or it's going to look shit. And I think this looks great. So by the time we have a big table running in here, we got stuff going here. So there's a lot to be done still. So this might not make sense unless you've seen the previous episode of 2 containers, but now it's going to make even more sense when I bring you into the warehouse and show you what's being done there. the construction continues in the warehouse. Boys, the sim consultants have got our sim ready. Our personal car is not quite designed just yet, so we're going to use Calais Rovanpera Supra for the minute, just to test it out, see if it's working. Look at this. I know it took time. Drift Games logo on the screen. That's super cool. Now I'm going to go and be terrible for a little while, Ronan. So you've set it up to a certain extent, but we're going to tweak it up. But
yeah, so we've got a relatively decent gear ratio by my limited amount of sim drifting, so we'll see what it feels like to you, because you're going to be the one that knows more about your actual car.
Well, the thing is, I've done more real driving, you've done more sim driving. We're going to see how close we are here.
From this angle, it looks incredible.
This is so cool. Even this guy's impressed. See if I can actually make sense. Oh, it feels good.
Then we can add more or less depending on how suggest that.
Actually feels okay to start with. I'm just a bit jarred because of the...
I hope you get better than that.
Why am I not doing well?
Surprisingly.
Is that not where I'm supposed to go? A bit, the force feedback is probably a little strong.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit, the car would probably not snap as much as that.
I was going to say, Dave, the car in real life is a bit of a handful, so I'd say having it a bit of a handful and learning it.
Yeah, learning this is probably a good thing.
Back to pits.
That makes sense. Lovely.
You should really get one of those in your car.
Yeah, I went in the wall. I went in the wall in Germany and I pressed it, but I ended up just staying there with Wayne giving it to me, so it didn't work at all. Short shifting is like the real car. Probably the wrong gear there. The throttle is a little bit delayed maybe compared to the real car. I'm driving it like it's a game.
Yeah.
But I have to get it into my mindset that it's like the car.
Dave, hold it together, one corner left. And a warm one at the end.
Hey!
Incredible, we got that lap first go.
Just first go, there was no takes in that at all. Oh no! That's my own fault. Oh, I'm not giving enough throttle. Oh, on the grass. I used to spend most of my sim time doing this. Just firing the car into the sky, so I've got to take things much more seriously now. Got thrown out many a lobby for that. But when you drift Mondello so many times, you always have that thing, what if I just ramped that?
I was like, okay.
So firstly, I want to thank the sim consultants for building me my dream sim, putting it here in the new Drift Games Clubhouse for not only me but all the boys to enjoy. And this thing is just unbelievable. If you're a drifter, this is where you get good. This is where you win events. This is why you can do more laps than anybody. You can do as many laps as you want. And I know you guys are asking, how much does it all cost? So that's like building a drift car. There's so many different components, so many different things, but that's why they're the sim consultants, because you can go there with a budget and they'll build it for whether you're racing, rallying, drifting, whatever. Like something like this is probably going to run you around about 20,000 euro. Now, that sounds mental, right? You go, that's lots of money. But then when you think about it, to me, that's 5 weekends of drifting if it was costing me $4,000 a weekend. If you're in a proper car, that's what's going to cost you. So to think that for 5 weekends drifting, you can drift every single day, it doesn't look like bad value. Now they'll go all the way down to like a minimum, like say like $6,000 or so, 5 or 6 grand for something a little bit more basic than this, and maybe you don't need all this, but they'll be able to build it from there to the sun, moon and the stars, whatever you need. And the most important thing is that if you are taking your drifting seriously, or if you can't afford a drift car, this is a one-time only deal. So you buy it once. When you buy a 20 grand drift car, it starts spending money then. So this is, if you want to spend one amount of money and do more drifting than I've ever done in my life, you can just do this, and it feels very, very similar. And also, it costs a lot less than traveling to all these tracks and buying all these cars. I'm going to be honest, this is quite an easy thing to do every day to get your skills up before you actually go to the track. And I know, Ronan, you've been doing that, practicing here before you buy a real car and go and, you know, spin around and crash. You actually get there and you're hopefully going to be really, really good when you get there, which we showed earlier from Connor Falvey.
Reset button in real life.
Yeah, and again, if you want any like this, the kind of we're going to see over the next couple of months, we're going to see if this is the difference that I've been missing in my driving for the last 10 years, the actual practice, the day-by-day stuff. And we're obviously going to be dialing a lot more into this sim over the next couple of weeks, which I'm really excited about. We've got some tweaks to make with the handbrake and stuff, but look how cool it looks. I'm pretty chuffed. I don't think anybody's be going home early from the clubhouse now, because the minute I go, someone else is going to be here until like 12 o'clock. So awesome job, guys. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. And hopefully I've got some practice in and I'm a little bit better than I was there. So this is super pumped on it. So, right, sim is in, room's looking good. Then we've got to move on to some more building. Alright, so it is now 12 days until we need to have this place finished. A lot of you guys are wondering why 12 days, why this deadline? Well, it's the last work day of 2024, so everybody's off from that point on. We want to start 25 with the whole place finished, so that's why we're putting a big push on to get it done so that we can finish the whole place, get all the cars in, take a breather, take a break at Christmas, and then come back flying in 25, because 25 is going to be huge. Today, we're starting to move stuff up onto the mezzanine. A lot of our shop stuff, we use the SP toolboxes that we used last year in our truck. We're going to be bringing them up here for another shop in here and replacing these for the road. And then we got to bring something very special and very big up here in a few minutes, which I'm nervous about. You thought the NASCAR going up was nerve-wracking. This is going to be twice as nerve-wracking. So we will give you guys a better look at the whole place in like later in the episode, because everything's moving so fast and it's so loud. But this is the sketchy part. We're putting a car up in front of the fake container up the top, and it's this car. So this is our JZX90 that we built this year. We brought it from Japan. So this car currently isn't registered for the road. We're still waiting on paperwork. It's going to be a little bit of time before it is. Probably not going to use the car until like show season next year. So I said, wouldn't it be cool to put it up the top so we have another car up there? Much easier to get a car up and down from this area than where the NASCAR is. So we're taking the side skirts off. I'm not sure about this.
This is very sensitive. Very sensitive.
This is absolutely terrifying. We just finished this car, it's absolutely beautiful. And then we're going to lift it up like some sort of grabber machine in an arcade. This is our Mondays, people. This is our Mondays of, we'll just get a teleporter, lift up JZX, put it in a coffee shop. Should be no issue until you go to do it. At least we can all just admire how clean this car is underneath now. That's what I'm thinking. This is the sketchiest thing we've ever done. What are we doing?
You're all right there now? Yeah, perfect. Whoa. Pig's piss. That was a good guess, wasn't it?
Big guy, we're rated for this car up here.
What? Oh yes, it is. Hey.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Well, if you start seeing the floor dipping, yeah,
Just
maybe we should move with a foot forward.
yeah.
Now, in fairness, my spark car is on the roof of my shed the past 2 years.
I'm only starting to dip.
Smart cars like a Jason X. You don't watch Triple H, they literally have a video up of tipping a smart car onto the roof of their shed. It actually fell off and almost went through the roof of the shed, so yeah, didn't happen up here.
Whoa! 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 Oh! Oh no!
That looks wild. There's a car on the back floor. How cool does that look? We still have to, you know, position it, lower it, and finish this whole room, but I didn't sleep very well last night knowing we were doing that today, so.
Took some photos on the phone and they looked very, when I look back,
Well done, Darren.
they look very sketchy.
Oh, thanks Wayne for all your assistance, your co-pilot. We were thinking, because Craig's not here, then you stood in, you've done as well. You didn't drop this one, anyway.
The thing is, if they did drop it, you wouldn't be seeing this video. We'd have just gone, where's the JSX? Oh, it's in the shade.
Yeah. This is the third car that tried to come up here.
Yeah, the other two Selvias are wrecked, but we got this one up.
Actually, lads, needs clean.
Bring it back
Would
down.
you just take it back down?
Wash it
I'm
downstairs.
going to power wash on it and bring it out.
I'm here ready to go. Right?
Alright, boys and girls, while everyone's busy and getting ready, there are some questions you guys have had in the comments and some housekeeping to do, so I said I'd sit down and go through it. So firstly, why are we trying to finish this place by the 21st of December and then of course get a video to you guys of the place completed by the 23rd of December? Well, the reason is the 21st of December is the last work day of the year in Ireland because Christmas is obviously on the 25th. So if we want anything, whether it's parts, we want graphics, we want wood, we want supplies, everything's going to be closed. So that's why we're using that as our finish date. Also, we want to finish 2024 on a high. That's the whole point. We had a big dip in April by losing absolutely everything we own, and we're hoping to finish the year on a high by having everything back again, thanks to you guys and our amazing sponsors, family and friends and everybody. And then we can kick on to 2025 where we've got some massive plans. Now there's another couple of things I want to talk about. One is our merchandise. Now if you want to grab some Drift Games merch for Christmas, you gotta do it quick. We are getting to limited stock levels and the last shipping date is getting closer and closer. So if you want to grab something for Christmas, I advise after this video, go to driftgames.live, grab it now because, well, we're busy, we got to get stuff packed, we got a limited amount left thanks to all you beautiful people who bought stuff, but we have got some very cool items still on the shop. If you want to grab them for someone you know for Christmas, now is the time to do it. And we have one big massive event left this year, which is the Drift Games Invitational, which is this Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to be driving the Solstice. I think Josh is bringing the MX-5, we're bringing all the boys down. We've got Connor Shanahan, Amanda Sorensen, Jack Shanahan, we got, think we might have James Dean, we might have a couple of big names, Dwayne McKeever is doing it. And we got 150 drivers all ready to throw down for 2 days over 4 layouts. We're with the boys from Club Loose again this weekend. It's going to be a wild event and it's super chill. So if you ever want to come and talk to your favorite driver, get a passenger ride, this is the event to do it. It's not closed off pits like all the other events we do in Ireland all year. So if you're around and you can weather a little bit of cold, it's going to be a fun weekend. And the last thing I want to talk about is our R33 giveaway. So the car currently now is in paint with O'Neill Auto Body. We're hoping to get it back in the next episode or very, very close to the finish line, and you guys can win that car. All you got to do is go to driftgames.live, buy a digital poster and be in with a chance to take that car home for Christmas, which is super cool, and it's going to be a one of a kind. And I'm a little sad that we're giving it away because I think it's going to look better than a lot of the cars we have, but we committed to it, so we're going to do it. So that's all the housekeeping done. Let's move on and look at the place in more detail. Oh, and before we get back to showing you the massive transformation that's happened this week in the place, I want to talk about two things that have been coming up a lot in the comments that I just want to address. So number one is, will the place be open to the public? The plan is that we will have this space open to the public gradually. So obviously if we just let 1,000 people come down here, it's going to overwhelm the whole place. People have other businesses here. It's not as easy as all that. But we will be starting in the new year to have some open days, starting with our YouTube members who have been super loyal and helped us through a lot of tough times. And then we'll be expanding that out to more people as time goes on. But it's not something that we can do right away because obviously we still have to fix it and set it up. And obviously we're not here a lot of the time. We're traveling, we're going to events. The boys are working, we're shooting stuff. it's not going to be easy for us to have people just rolling through all the time, because you can lose days and days, and then eventually we'd have loads of people seeing it, but we'd have no videos and no work done. So we're trying to balance all that as best we can. The second thing is, obviously, some of you guys will have come to this channel because of the fire and losing all of our stuff in the fire in Dublin, and a lot of talk about sprinkler systems and fire systems and all this stuff, and it's a constant thing. But we never had a fire in the first place because we didn't start a fire. We were the victim of a fire that started in another business. So it's not like we're a high risk or do anything crazy to start fires. And this building is way above regulation than where the last building was. So this is all, every room is an hour rated with a fire. We obviously aren't on the second floor, and it's a lot more safe. And we are pretty safe about what we do and how we practice things as well. So I think it's kind of like, the fire thing is like, okay, I get it, it's fire, 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 fire. But it's a bit annoying when we've never actually started a fire ever at Drift Games, and we constantly are worrying about it. We obviously are protecting ourselves for as much as possible, but what I don't want to do is let fire define our entire lives. Be fearful, put 10 cars in 10 different garages, don't put anything in there, put 17 sprinkler systems in it, actually just wet the place every morning. It's like, you've got to live, you got to move on, you got to keep doing your thing, you got to keep working, and you can't be just in fear of the worst case scenario all the time, or you'll never make the best case scenario. So we're taking every precaution. We definitely understand how damaging a fire can be, but I think we're being as safe as we possibly can. So we're going to be good. We're going to be fine. You know what I've just realised? We've never actually introduced you on the channel before.
See me in the background all the time.
In the background, so this is Craig Lawler. So Craig came on as a volunteer.
Yeah.
A volunteer after the fire.
Didn't think I was going to still be here.
No, couldn't get rid of you. He was too good. We put out a message after the fire for some volunteers to help us pack some merch because we got overwhelmed with the amount of orders. Craig came down and he said, you know what, I'll give a hand. And then he ended up with it going all across Europe.
Just decided you liked me enough to stay. Like.
Craig, the place is starting to take shape. It's still a little messy.
It's a bomb site.
It's a bomb site, but we're getting the orders out. As you can see, here's all the orders being put together for people that have ordered, and we're trying to say get it done now because Christmas is coming.
They'll be done this week.
So you get all the backlog done this week, and then we got the Christmas orders, and then we're done. And as you guys can see, he's getting organised, he's getting everything sorted.
We're down to bare bones now. Like.
You know, it's been good. We've had a lot of support this year. We've sold a lot of merch, and let's be honest, it's funding pretty much this entire build. So to make Craig really annoyed that he's doing more work, make sure you grab some merch, and then yeah, we might even be able to buy a few little more trinkets for the new place. So Craig, get back to work. Also, Craig has a GT86. So he's
One's back on the channel.
Yeah, it's going to be back on the channel very soon. We're doing a few bits of it. So Craig has a GT86. You know what, I'm going to go outside and show them your GT86.
Don't look too close.
It's mad. This was just a blank room like a week ago, and now it looks as messy as every other room. But we're getting there. We're getting there. So this is Craig, the new guy's GT86. Looks pretty slick. He's got like color-coded stuff on it. Drift Games visor. So you know, everybody here practices what they preach. Our friend Paulius at TH Components has done a little refurb on Josh's MX-5 wheels. These are going a long time. And look at this in the corner. Brand new Strom wheels that nobody has seen before. These are DS F45s. They're not out till first quarter of next year. Let me give you a little sneak peek in there. Little sneak peek. Not too much. We're going to put them on something special very soon. But Strom always sending us the goodies before they go out. This is the first set. So we're kind of deciding what we want to put it on, maybe like the 14, the S15, the 13. Let me know in the comments what you think we should put these on. I'm thinking the S15, up to you. Alright, we're still filming. This video is going out about an hour from what you're seeing right now, so we didn't have time to make it all fancy as we usually do. We're just going to show you the progress because we've been running around like a lunatic. The whole team has just been flat out. So you've seen the simulator, you've seen the office, you've seen the progress there, but this has had some massive progress in the last week. First and foremost, we have lights. So this area, which was underneath the mezzanine, as you can see, is now being split into two different rooms. So one super bright, this is going to be a detailing bay for Sonax, and you can see Adam has been putting together our tough light on the ground, which is going to go obviously on the roof because it'd be very impractical on the ground. You just crush it with the car. So you have to put that on the roof, apparently. That's the instruction said it. So we're going to put it on the roof. So that's going to be turned on tomorrow. The electricians are here in the morning. You can still see we're still boxing some stuff off. You can see this clear line, which now separates the, what I call, Sonax bay to this bay, which is like our kind of cool, smoky, kind of dark, display room. We got spotlights, none of them are in the right position, and we're going to have a wheel wall over here, which strong wheels on. You can see we're getting that ready. Our container fully painted, so it didn't make sense to leave it the original color. We ended up having to paint the whole outside of the same color as inside, and then we painted the entire inside of the container because it was really scruffy. So we ended up painting it all silver again. So even though that looks just as it came, it was a bit of a pain in the ass for the painter who said, let's paint it all again. So this now has a laminate floor on it. As you guys can see, still have to do a little bit of edging on that. And a car will obviously sit here, and a car will obviously sit here with the spotlights. And we have another top light which we haven't wired yet, that's up here, that the boys just put on. So that's like a grid light, right? So that's, they do them in like a hex, and then they do these ones now in a grid, which are really cool as well. So this space kind of taking shape. Oh, by the way, if you want to grab some merch, we just did a little ad today on this. This is the range we have still available on the site. So we're getting close to the deadline for Christmas. So if you want something from Drift Games for yourself, or you want someone else to buy it for you, or you're going to buy it for someone else, including the kids' gear, it's all on the site right now. Go grab it. You're obviously helping us fund the lunacy that's happening here. So moving forward, Adam got stuck in the hide fryer, so he's been up there since, that's 3 days now, Adam, is it?
That's where I do most of it.
That's where he does most of his thinking. He goes up there just to get away from everything, up in the altitude.
Josh got annoyed up there.
When Josh annoys him, he just goes up there. Josh,
oh no, he'll annoy you from up there, don't worry.
Josh will ring you and just annoy you from up there. So now you're getting a little bit of a, I suppose, if you come this way, you gotta do the little pan now, right? You're starting to see some of the madness come together. So what we've got, which is, we'll start with the practical part. We've got a stairs. So that was getting us off the ladder and the height for hire for the last while. We've now got a handrail around the NASCAR. This was always the idea because we wanted to kind of, I don't know, keep it industrial looking, but also kind of tease it, because you'll see why in a minute. Here, this is going to start making sense to people who knew what we did with the last place. We didn't want to replicate the last place by building another street, but we kind of building our own little town over here. So yes, that's the shop front. This is also a shop front, and then this is like a cafe, right? But we're going to go up there and see that. And then this big wall here is, we'll show you that in a future episode, but there's some cool stuff going there as well. Upstairs, though, is where the big changes happen. We've got stairs, Blaine.
I wasn't fond of the ladder. I'm not
Blaine
a big
was
fan of
doing
ladders.
some shaky laddering all week. Now we can actually walk it up. So we obviously have to get the floor. I gotta stop saying obviously so much, but I assume it's obvious, so let's just assume. So you gotta put the floor back to there. And then you come through here. Now you can see, if Adam would stop reversing for 10 seconds. Stay up there, Adam, until I finish talking. So yeah, we've got some couches here. There's Craig and Josh are not in this video, you'll notice, because they are in the UK. What I did was I picked out 4 random Facebook marketplace buys that are really going to set the place off, and I gave them a little waypoint, and they're gone for 3 days doing that. You'll see that in the next episode. But for the moment, this is going to be our merch area. So you can see some couches for chilling. We've got all of our SP toolboxes. These are the toolboxes that we converted into our shop for the full European tour and Drift Masters and everything else this year, and we're retiring them up here because we're going to go get some new ones for next year. So we're going to give these a polish, get them all cleaned up, and that will be where we kind of display all that. There's something going in that corner, something going there. Things are happening. Now the NASCAR makes sense because it's sitting right in the middle of our merch shop, I guess, or whatever. And there'll be some other cool stuff here as well. A lot of people asking, why is there a NASCAR here? Because we're Drift Games? Because it's cool. That's the only justification. When we were growing up in Ireland, and NASCAR was like a thing that you saw on television on a Sunday morning. You'd never think you'd see one in real life. So while a NASCAR to anybody in the US would be like, what's the point? To someone in Ireland to see one of these is wilder than any drift car. So that's why it's here. Just because it's funky, just because it's cool. And we have to slam it, obviously there's no engine in it and stuff. So we get to that, But this is very cool. As Craig tries to take some of the dust off the JZX 90, some of it. This is going to be the Tire Streets Cafe. So, if you want to talk about vision, Adam O'Connor had a bit of a vision. Vision from up there, up on top of that.
Todd is up here.
Todd is up there, and he's up in his thinking box, as we call it. So, again, early days, we still have 12 days to go and a lot more to do. So we made this wall look like a container, because that's the office on the other side, and it was just a big white wall, but we used the sides of the container we cut off for the NASCAR display to make essentially a container look over here, which isn't the container, but I think it looks cool because you have the windows from the office. So from the office, it looks like a nice clean office, but when you come this side, it looks like there's another container. So that's really cool. The car is sitting here. We still have to do some stuff and slam it or whatever. Got some rugs, got some tables, and we're building like a coffee shop. Got this red brick wall. That wasn't last time you saw it, right? That's new as well. So when you're here, you can, like, you know, if we have an open day, someone wants some refreshments, they can come up here, get a view of all the cars, and I think it's pretty cool. We haven't finished any of this, and we don't know how we're going to finish it, but this is like, I would say 60%, right?
It's nice we can talk about this.
We're both at height now. Yeah. 2 weeks ago, we would never be at this height.
Neither of us.
Neither of us could be at this height. So Adam is up there just surveying the scene and getting some ideas, and we're obviously, I said obviously again, we're going to be doing a lot more with the space. So yeah, it's like, we've what, how many days have we done now? 18? 18 days from like to stand here with all this around us. 18 days in is pretty good going, but that scares me that we've 12 days left. But now it's down to the details. So the construction, there's still more stuff to do, but not a lot. The basics are in, and now it's time for us to get clever and creative, because this is what happened when we had it at the studios the last time. It doesn't look quite right until the very end. So that's why, you know, Josh and Craig are on a little bit of a mission. So let me know what you think in the comments. I think it's coming along really well. I know it's not going to look as good as it will at the end, and that's the bit I hate about showing it off before it's finished, because the last time we didn't, it was just all perfect. But you guys are along for the ride, and obviously from buying the merch, coming along to the invitation and all that good stuff, you guys are supporting this build, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. And Blaine, I think you're just going to have to tell me to stop talking, edit this.
Please do.
Yeah, edit this and just get it out tonight so everyone's up to date, because we got another couple hours tonight before we're finished here. So enjoy. We'll see you on the next one where even more madness happens. And then he was like, now he's the pro at driving that thing around.
It's not great.
Jokes aside, now he actually is stuck.
Is he actually stuck? Right, just leave him up there, so. See you, Adam.